I was privileged to meet Ray many, many years ago when Chaplain Meyer at the prison would have us to bring him in, and I would write out his gate pass so we could bring him in as a volunteer to help with the program in the chapel there. And I got acquainted with Ray, and Ray began to share his story about being in South Florida, and him and his brother was in construction, and some things happened, and I never did really ask him to say, are you guilty or not guilty, but he said I did avoid the jailhouse. And so he moved his family up to Ocala. He felt the call of God on his life, so he went into the jail, began to minister to the men, and he found a common denominator, that the majority of the men in prison were there because they had committed crimes to support an addiction.
He said when he was teaching at the prison, he saw a lot of the inmates returning. And one of the big things was that you could teach them while they were there, but if they didn't replace their bad habits with something good, they'll return to their bad habits.
I guess God had laid it on Ray Geisel's heart to start this ministry. And my first encounter with Ray, I met him at church, and he got to know me, and I explained to him some of the problems that I had. And the heart of this ministry is to reach people that need help. But Ray was the first guy that came to me who had compassion, who had kindness, who I genuinely felt his affection towards me and towards my feelings and my situation in life. And I thought, wow, there's something different about this guy. I says, no one's ever talked to me like this before, like I'm a human being, not just a statistic, not just a number, not just somebody that has a problem and we just need to fix them and get them out of the way.
And then God began to move on his heart. He started writing lessons to help guys in the steps, but he was very concerned that they understand the change that would come would be in a relationship with Jesus Christ. And he did a thorough research on all the 12-step programs, self-improvement programs that he could find, and studied their material.
The ministry was big at that time, was out of his garage. And we got the books there that we gave to the inmates. And so on Sunday evening, we would come with Ray to Marion County Jail and go through this program with his class. And he always would tell us it's about God and about God's people. And the way to serve God was to serve God's people.
Then he would write lessons for the guys in the jail. And he would come to the office at Blessed Trinity Catholic Church and would run off a copy of his, you remember those old mimeograph machines where you'd turn them this way and that old purple ink would get all over you. And so actually Father Pat in Blessed Trinity Catholic Church published the first edition of Walking the 12 Steps with Jesus Christ.
And as the years went by, Lonnie Ernest and his wife Abby took the helm, and Ray and his wife had passed away. And Lonnie carries on that tradition of kindness and compassion, of truly caring to each one as an individual.
Several years ago, Kay Bowman Crane brought a young lady in our office by the name of Renee Arnett. And you could just see the compassion and the tears that she would shed as she thought of all the ladies in the prison and the needs they had. And Renee is now part of our ministry, an unbelievable, caring, loving person.
And today, with where the ministry is and where it's going, I know Ray and Rita are jumping up and down in heaven now, and proud of the directors that we have now that are going in a new direction, but still has the passion of Christ in their hearts and their lives for the people that we serve. This is a ministry that's not only for the incarcerated in a physical sense, but also for the outside that are incarcerated in a spiritual sense.
And now we have basically distributed getting close to 200,000 copies of that book in prisons and jails in all 50 states and a number of foreign countries. And thank God that we've been able to have people that have loved us, supported us, and given us the opportunity to be a ministry reaching out to everyone anywhere that would reach out to us and say, we need help.
It has a power to draw people and point people in the right direction.